welcome to my Legendary Items Revamp Warden Guide. In this guide, we're going to look at the DPS Warden, which items you should be using, and which traceries you should be using. When it comes to the Legendary Items Warden, you have one choice that there is no choice. You always want to get a Javelin for your Warden, obviously. For your main hand weapon, you want to pair it with whatever your racial bonus is. For example, I am High Elf, I get one-handed sword damage. In this case, I would get sword from my Warden. Just make sure you pair it with your racial bonus for that extra bit of damage. Looking at the Heraldric traceries, as with any other agility DPS class, you pretty much only have two choices: Heraldry of the Sparrow or Heraldry of the Serpent. And my advice will always be to get the extra vitality for whatever class you're playing. So my advice for Warden would be 2 of the Heraldry of the Sparrow. When it comes to the Word of Power traceries, as with most classes, I always want to highlight the blue tanking ones for reducing incoming damage and getting more morale. These can be pretty useful if you're doing high tier content. But in this video, we're gonna, as always, focus on mainly DPS. And this leaves us with the 6 DPS traceries. Like with every DPS, you only get 5 slots Word of Power. You're gonna have to give up one of these. Obviously, Warden does a lot of dots. It's a dot class, so you do want to have the damage over time and the damage over time criticals. I will always say take the crit, so we're going to keep AoE and single target crit chance and crit magnitude. This brings us to AoE attack damage or single target attack damage. And even though Warden probably has more single target attacks, the AoE attacks are so strong, your Desolation, your Surety, and your Brink, they hit really hard and get really big crits, that I'm probably opting towards AoE attack damage over single target. This can for sure be debated and tested. Which is better, single attack or AoE attack? But in this guide, I'm going to recommend the AoE attack damage. And moving on to the Word of Masteries for Warden. We're going to start at the top, go through all the traceries, see what's needed and what's viable. Starting at the top, Adroit Maneuver I'm going to put as a viable option. I know some Wardens have tried putting this into their rotation for the buff that they get. For now, this is going to stay at viable. Ambush, crit chance, and damage multiplier is not something we're going to take for like an endgame Warden. Same with Careful Step and the other Careful Step Legacy tracery we're not going to take. Defiant Challenge damage return is not worth it as a Warden DPS. This Gambit damage and critical chance. Keyword here is damage and crit chance. Yes, we want this for sure. Gambit builder damage. More damage on your builders. Yes, thank you. Gambit life type damage. Not really needed. Hampering Javelin duration and resist chance. We're gonna put this as viable, just in case you need Hampering Javelin to be back faster. Just in case you need Hampering Javelin to last longer. Heal bonus for Conviction. We're not gonna take this, we're not a healer. Javelin of Deadly Force damage. This is maybe okay for yellow, but not really needed in general. Javelin skills crit chance, we're going to take this because of the crit chance for your few javelin skills that you use, as well as javelin skills damage, increase that damage on our very few javelin skills that we use. Mark target double cast chance is a must pick. We try to get that double marked and increase the damage of you and everyone else. Mastery cooldown, yes. You want Masteries to be back sooner, will only increase your DPS. Recklessness critical rating buff will help you out with some extra crit chance during Recklessness. We're not gonna pick resolution damage since it's not part of our rotation really. And in that same case we don't need the resist chance. Shield Gambit line healing we don't really need because we're not gonna be healing much. Shield Piercer duration we're not gonna pick. Moving on to the next page. Spear Shield Gambit damage. Yes, that's more damage for us. We're gonna pick this. Shield Tactics Tactical Mitigation buff. We're gonna put this as viable for now. I'll explain why later. Spear Gambit damage, another damage one. We're gonna pick this for sure. Steadfast cooldown goes down as a viable for now. Surety of Death damage over time. Yes, absolutely more damage on Surety. And Wages of Fear positional damage we're not gonna pick. This leaves us with 10 Word of Masteries, but of course we want to put 2 more in there. And this leaves us with Adroit Maneuver damage, Hampering Javelin duration, Shield Tactics, Tactical Mitigation buff, and Steadfast cooldown. The only reason I include these two is for the secondary stat, Tactical Mitigations, and Vitality. If you find Hampering Javelin duration or Adroit Maneuver damage useful, you should definitely pick those. But personally, since I don't really use those skills, I am going with Shield Tactics, Tactical Mitigation buff, and Steadfast cooldown for the secondary stats. Some extra Vitality and Tact Mid will only help you out. So these 12 are my recommended Word of Mastery as a Warden. When it comes to the Word of Craft traceries, this is pretty straightforward. You definitely want the Light type to set with Ascendant Light. And for your last two, why not just get 2 more of Ascendant Light to get some outgoing healing? It doesn't hurt getting some extra stats, since you'd probably be picking crit anyways on the last 2. So my recommendation for Word of Craft is 4 of the Ascendant Light. If you follow my guide, your allies should end up looking something like this. That's gonna be the end of my guide. Hopefully this helped. Leave a like, subscribe to my channel, join my Discord, and I'll see you in the next one.